your dreams.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Snowbreak Containment Zone video, and today I'm just going to be doing a quick beginner's guide for Snowbreak. This will be the 2025 edition. By the way, if this video has helped you in any way, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It'll be greatly appreciated. So when you first start off Snowbreak, the first thing you want to do is clear chapter 7. Because once you've cleared chapter 7, you'll be able to do your dailies. You'll be able to unlock everything. The dailies in this game takes at least the bare minimum of 40 seconds. It does not take that long, but just make sure you rush to chapter 7, complete chapter 7, and you'll unlock everything. You get at least 50 Digicash a day from doing your dailies. That's at least 350 Digicash a week. If you combine that with your weeklies, which is a separate thing from your dailies, you get at least 490 Digicash when you do your weeklies, and if you combine that with your dailies that you do every day, that's around 840 Digicash that you get a week. This doesn't factor in the seasonal stuff that you have to do and the events that you do. Once you finish chapter 7, you do your dailies, and then once you're done with your dailies, you can start doing the events, because the events do give you quite a lot of other freebies as well if you do those events. I also forgot to mention that once you finish chapter 412, you do get a 5-star selector. I don't think there's a right or wrong choice with the 5-star selector, because majority of the characters in this game are pretty good, especially those that are on the limited banner. My best advice is roll on the beginning banner, see who you get, and depending on who you get, that could factor in who you decide for the 5-star selector. The best characters that most people agree on is the Coronet Fenny and Winter Solstice Yao. Both of those characters are DPS characters. Wild Hunt's Life is also a pretty decent choice as well if you don't feel like playing with a sniper or a shotgun character. As for teams that can help you progress through the story, the beginning team that you get, Lionheart Fenny, Wednesday Life, and Redacted Acacia, that team is pretty useful for helping you progress through the story. You eventually get a free 4-star healer, Yao, Quiet Quitter, who is a pretty decent healer. If you're struggling through the main story because you need some heals, building her will definitely help you. I do think Lionheart Fenny is probably one of the best 4-star DPS characters in the game, and she is free. If you're struggling in the story, you can just replace Wednesday Life with Yao. Wednesday Life is a pretty decent DPS or sub DPS character, but I do think Lionheart Fenny is a lot more stronger. Acacia Redacted is a pretty good sub DPS because she can slow down the enemies and she can deal decent damage. If you get a 5-star DPS character, you can just replace Fenny Lionheart with that character. But the free-to-play team should be more than enough to help you progress through the story. So now that I've got that out of the way, I might as well do a quick review, or not a review, but like going over through this UI, because there's a lot of stuff in this UI. There's stuff all over the place, so I'm gonna just break it down for you guys real quick. So at the top, we got your resin, your energy. This is like how you spend your main story, your events, all that stuff, your energy, stamina, etc. Typical of any other gacha game. This is your in-game currency that you use to exchange, or in-game currency that you use to level up your characters, weapons, logistics, etc. This currency is what you use to pull characters, and this currency is what you use to exchange for this currency. Over here we got tasks. This is where your dailies are. This is where you do your dailies, daily tasks. We got seasonal / weekly tasks over here. This is your achievement hunting, and this is the main story tasks that you can do. I still gotta finish it. I kind of forgot all about this because, as I said earlier, the UI is all over the place, so it is kind of easy to forget like certain things. If you're looking for your settings, they're on the top right corner. This is where you can change your settings of the game. This right here it basically tells you what tasks that you can do. This is telling me to do this, which I forgot to do. I'll do that later. This is your event tab, where all your events are held. The most important tab is the material tab. You have a shop tab and a tasks, separate tasks for events, and everything else is basically separate game modes. We got the fight tab, which is an important tab. This is where all of basically majority of the content of the game is. You have the main story, which is where you do the main story. Once you finish chapter 7, you unlock everything, all your dailies. There is a hard mode, which is a little outdated because it only goes up to chapter 10. So there's still 4 more chapters that they're missing, but the developers are hard at work, so getting those hard modes probably will take a while. Just an FYI, on the fight tab, you can also access the other tabs on the bottom right here, like Operation, Dispatch, Personal Fire, Gigalink. You can also access it through at the bottom. Now for the Operation, this is this is where you're going to be farming materials for your characters. You got your in-game currency, you got a level up character thing. This is where you level up your weapons. This is where you ascend your weapons. This is where you unlock neural skills for your operatives. This is your logistics. This is where you farm logistics, although I think this is a little outdated because you have a better version, which is right here. This is where you farm event logistics. Another tip, if you farm Maxar's logistics, what are they? This is a pretty good support logistics. After using a support skill, your team will basically get ballistic damage boost, which is universal. So if you don't have any support characters, you can just put this on any 4-star that you have, like Acacia or a simple support. You have this is where you farm event weapons, 4-star weapons, which are generally pretty good. If you missed a 4-star weapon, you can just farm this and get the currency, which is right here, to buy an event weapon. And you also have a training, or yeah, this is kind of like a training mode or new beginner mode. This is where you learn how to play the game, basically. We have the Dispatch tab, which is your end game tab. You're going to be spending a lot of your end game mode here. We got the Underground Purge. You got the permanent version, which I still need to finish. I forgot all about this, but I haven't forgot about the Jotun Tunnel. I've been doing this. This is where your Abyss typically is, your Tower Adversity, whatever. You're going to need 2 teams for this. You also need 2 teams for Neural Simulation. You got 2 bosses that you got to defeat as quickly as you can. You also got the Tactic Evaluation, which is a one and done deal once you're done with this, which is a lot, by the way. Look at all this shit. Look at all this shit. All this stuff you got to do. You get a lot of freebies, though, so make sure you do this. It's a one and done thing. Once you're done, you're done. You don't really got to touch it anymore. And you got Star Master, which is one of the best game modes ever made. Pretty similar to Pal World. It's not for everybody, but if you like Pal World mechanics or creature collecting mechanics, you play this. I like it. I enjoy it. You may or may not enjoy it, but give it a shot. You might enjoy it. Personal File. This is where you get to know the backstory of your operatives, your playable characters. You can only do ones that you own. You can't do ones that you don't own. You can only do at least 4 a day, 2 characters a day. This is where you get character shards. Character shards are important for unlocking their manifestations, which is basically another way of saying dupes, duplicates of a character. So this is basically where you go to get duplicates. We got Gigalink, which is the co-op mode. Basically, you got 2 types of co-op. You got area control, which is permanent, and you got hero games, which is limited, which is also pretty quick and fun, while area control takes a little bit longer. But this is where you go for co-op. So now we're going to check out the Echo tab. This is your gacha tab. This is where you pull for the characters. You have 2 types of banners in this game. You have the 100% banner and you have the 50-50 banner. I always suggest to pull for the 100% banner because in the 100% banner, there's no 50-50. You basically get the character, but you do have to pull a little bit more. But I do think it's very worth pulling over the 50-50 banner. You get the guaranteed character here at 100. You also got the limited character. You got the limited weapon as well. You get the limited weapon guaranteed at 80 pulls. We got other banners. When you start the game, there should be like a beginning banner as well. I don't have that because I did it already. This is the 50-50 banner. You get the 50-50 character at 80. So I wouldn't suggest you pull on this because it's better to get the guaranteed, in my opinion. You also have the I looked at the amount of pulls I can do. This is the standard character banner. This is where you get standard characters, and this is where you get standard weapons. You got the base. This is your dorm system. If you're into dorm systems, this is where you go. This is, I don't want to go into too much details on this because even like I hardly ever touch this like at all. This is where, yeah, dorms, you talk with your characters, you basically just come here to relax with your characters, basically. I don't know what else to really say. There's also like I think a mini game somewhere. I don't know where that is. I haven't done this in so long. What is? Anyways, this is where you can just hang out with your characters. This is a dorm system. That's all I can really say, okay? It's a dorm system, all right? Dorm system. On the Operative tab, this is where you can access your characters that you have. That's basically it. I have every character. Let's look at this real quick. So you got Operative tab, which tells you the skill of the character. You have other stuff, view details. You can also view like what the game recommends you. I don't know how good this is. But it looks pretty decent enough. It looks pretty decent. So this basically tells you how to build the character to some degree. You got the weapons tab. You can train your weapons, I guess. I don't know. I think that's silly wording. I think this should be changed to level up or something. You got the logistics tab, which is your gear for your characters. Typically for your logistics, you're typically going to want alignment index, and the last slot should be like an elemental damage bonus, depending on what character you have. And the middle slot can be literally like almost anything else. But typically you just want to look for alignment index for logistics. Manifestations, this is the dupes tab. Basically, this is to check how many dupes that you have of the character. Bottom right, this is the shards that you need in order to unlock node on the manifestation. I think this is the better view, right? You have several nodes, so if I get 9 more boo-boo shards, I unlock this node here, and in order to unlock another one, I'll need more boo-boo shards. This is where you get your dupes. Neuronics, this is like your sub skills. Basically, this basically boosts your operatives' other skills and stuff. It also gives them a lot of alignment index. This is a pretty important thing to farm for, especially for your DPS character, since alignment index is a pretty important stat in this game. Mine is 538 for Kadia at the moment. You have your skins in this game. You got, this game has a lot of skins, if it wasn't obvious enough. Here we got the shop tab. This is where you can buy things with different currencies. This is your typical shop that you can use your silver bucks to buy stuff here. I don't think this shop is really that important, but if you are buying something for your daily missions, I would probably suggest that you just buy the character shards that you get on here, but I don't really think this shop is that important. We got the event shop, which has the underground purge shop and the neural simulation shop. This, I would suggest that you buy the revision application because this allows you to change the third stat on your logistics. And you also have this, which is also pretty important. This is a way to ascend weapons. Everything else on here is okay-ish. The logistics that you get are okay, but I do think they get kind of outclassed by event logistics. Like this logistics, this squad, this is pretty good for 4-star Acacia. There's also a pretty good DPS logistics as well. Increases ballistic damage, increases it even further. They're okay, but I do think they get outclassed by event logistics. You got the neural simulation shop. I would suggest that you get the 5-star character shards and the quantum cell, as the quantum cell allows you to unlock neuronics on your character. For this is the gacha shop. Whenever you pull on the gacha, you get these, and you can use those to exchange for pulls and 5-star standard weapons, which is pretty good. You've got the quality ration shop. This is also, I think this currency is from the standard banner. You can get many different types of goodies here. I would suggest that you buy the top, whatever's on the top, the gold or the orange tier stuff, because those are pretty good. You get pulls, you get revision applications, you also get a quantum cell. So I definitely suggested you buy these. Everything else is kind of whatever, not really that necessary, but definitely make sure you buy these. This resets monthly, so make sure you check this every month and select whatever's on top. Select these. You got Logistic Officer Shop, which is kind of outdated, but they did add a recent new thing, which is this. This basically lets you change the first 2 stats of your logistics. So getting stats on your logistics shouldn't be as difficult since we have access to this, but this is basically one of the most important things that you can buy in this shop. We got the elite logistics version shop. This is where you get the event logistics. If you ever pull a character on their rerun and you want their logistics, you basically go here to buy them. You have the decomposition shop, which is a shop that you go to when you decomposite or get rid of your character shards. I don't think you're going to be here that often. I don't think you're going to be in this shop that often, only because I don't really think you need to decompose characters, but you can get some good character shards. You get limited character shards, but I don't, like I said, I don't think you're going to be in this shop that often. Same thing with the weapon version of it. This is basically the weapons version of the decomposition shop. If you decompose a 5-star weapon, you get this, and you can exchange them for limited weapons here. But as I said, I don't think you're going to be in these shops that often. We got the Fortune Weapon Shop, which is a shop that lets you buy event weapons. These are all 4-star weapons, free to play, low cost weapons. They're generally pretty good. I would definitely suggest you buy these if you need an event weapon. Some of these are catered to specific 5-star operatives, but they are pretty good. We also have the weapons parts shop. If you're missing, we got the weapons parts shop, but I don't think this is really that important. Weapon parts, you can equip parts on your weapon. They get like a slight stat boost, but I don't think it's really worth worrying about. So I don't think you need to worry about this. Over here, we got the storage shop. This is basically where you can see what you have. You can see what weapons you got, what logistics you got. Supplies, these typically have these balders. This is basically how you can refill your stamina. This is basically a way to do more of the personal story files. I also have a lot of 4-star selectors and a few 5-star selectors that I don't really need because I have everything already. We also got the parts, weapon parts. You can view those as well. And we also have like your typical items, character shards, event currency, in-game currency. We got all material leveling up stuff to check how much you got. You can also sort them, and you can also synthesize or decompose materials here. You can also recycle weapons on the bottom left right here. So if you want to recycle weapons or logistics, you go over here, bottom left. We have an archives. This is where everything gets archived. You have music, album. I think this is like, yeah, CGI stuff here. You have gameplay tips. You have enemy intel. I think this can tell you like basic lore of the enemy. You also have the combat intel as well that you can view. You can view combat intel also on the neural simulation bosses that you have. Gives you lore on enemies too. You got weapons. I think there's like, yeah, basically just, you know, viewing your weapon archives. Let's wait, I think I missed something here. Oh yeah, weapon parts too. Okay, cool. You got profiles of logistics. Or yeah, you got the story. Wow, they have a lot. So, you know, this is basically where you go for your lore stuff. If you want to read up on a few things, you're interested in the lore. Keepsakes. I don't think I have anything there. I don't know what that is actually. Exploration stuff, more lore stuff, a lot of lore stuff. You have outfit collections. I have every outfit in the game. Oh, wrong tab. Operative profiles. This is where you can view the lore of your favorite characters, voice stuff, all that good stuff. So yeah, this is the archives is basically for the lore, music stuff, pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. Now, if we go to the left side of the UI, bottom left, you can access your profile. You can change your nickname, signature, all that good stuff. You can view your character, whoever's on screen. You can also change the interactive scenes. If you have any characters with interactive skins, you can change them here. You also have like 2 other scenes that you can change to. This is basically where you can access your interactive scene. If you have an interactive menu up. Quartermaster, this is where you buy things. You have access to packs and stuff here. You can buy bit gold to exchange for Digicash here. A lot of packs. I don't really think they're worth buying. I'll explain what to buy later if you're interested. This is where you get outfits, weapon skins, interactive scenes, outfit parts. And this is where you get the welcome in the game, or the $5 pack, I should say. If you want to spend money on this game, I would suggest you just get the $5 welcome. This is your monthly thing. You get 90 Digicash whenever you log in. If you buy this, it's only $5. I definitely think this is worth buying. And another thing worth buying is the battle pass. I haven't bought mine yet. Well, I'm a CC, so I typically get it for free. I'll probably get this for free like next week, but if you do have money to spend, you know, spend on the battle pass. I think the battle pass and the monthly are worth buying instead of all those other packs, but that's just my opinion. Events. This is where you can view like events of the game, events that you can do. This is these are all trials. The tri-populars are trials. You got operative trials. You have, I think these are skin trials. Yeah, try new is skin trials. You have this is like a login thing, and you also have like your monthly login as well. It'll also tell you if you have the $5 monthly as well. Oh, and I think it also tells you like refresh time. I want to say, yeah, this is a refresh time for your dailies, right? So I have 15 hours left to do my dailies, but I think I'm done already. This right here is basically like the news and stuff of the game, what's going on, packs, join official community, and bottom left you have the world chat, you have invites, you can also chat with your friends, DM with your friends as well. That's about it for the UI of this game. There is a lot to do. So TLDR for new players, get to chapter 7, finish chapter 7 so you can unlock your dailies. And then once you unlock your dailies, you can either try to go through the story as much as you can, or you can just start doing the events. I think events are pretty worth doing because you can get a lot of freebies here. For the event shop, for new players, I would probably just recommend you buy whatever materials you need to level up your characters. And for veteran players, I would recommend you buy this as quickly as you can, because you're definitely going to be needing a lot of this for endgame. And I think that's about it. I think that's all the advice I can give for new players. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys later.
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.